If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe now. Click the bell icon next to it and select all to ensure you don't miss any of my latest videos. In this video I am going to tell you about 5 scary horror stories, but remember one thing, while reading the scripts related to this video, I felt very scared, so if you are watching this video alone at night, be a little careful because these creepypastas are really very scary. These seem like bedtime stories to watch, but these are stories that will not let you sleep even after getting into bed. So why are you late? Let's get into the video. Number 1. The Room 371 Experiment / a man named Garrett is conducting an experiment. The experiment is taking place in a room in a laboratory, but it is not a normal room, it is a special place where time and space run differently and whoever enters it sees some visions that cause nightmares. But one night, the lab while in, Garrett had to meet his pregnant wife Elizabeth at a nearby hotel, but it was already too late and he was working too hard. He fell asleep. But after he fell asleep he had a nightmare. In that nightmare he entered a hotel room. In that hotel room, Elizabeth was lying on the bed crying very loudly. Garrett was very scared, not knowing what would happen to his baby. After a long period of labor, Elizabeth gave birth to the baby. After giving birth, Elizabeth and Garrett were very scared. The reason was that the baby had been smiling very terribly since birth. In addition, its face was very large and wide. The eyes were completely black and were looking at Garrett. There was some unknown monstrosity in those eyes. Garrett immediately put the baby on the bed. Unable to hold it in his hands, he continued to look at the baby. He couldn't see it, but then he saw that it wasn't Elizabeth. He thought she had been silent until then, but then it dawned on him that Elizabeth had also died after giving birth to the child, but he didn't know what to do and tried to run away from that room, but as he ran away he saw the room number. He knew the room number, number 371. He was in the room where he was conducting the experiment. In his lab, that room number was also room number 371. So, he was thinking of opening that door and running away from there. When he was thinking of opening that door and somehow escaping from there, he saw a black shape outside the door. What did that shape say? It said that they were mine now. After hearing this, Garrett immediately woke up from his dream and he also saw strange sounds coming from his lab. He woke up. But then he saw the time. It was almost time for him to go to his wife. So he immediately called Elizabeth and asked where she was and what she was doing. She said, "I'm having pains right now. I need to go to the hospital." And then Garrett immediately asked what room you were in and what your room number was. She said, "My room number is 371. Garrett's blood immediately ran from head to toe. He immediately told Elizabeth to come out of the room, but before she could hear those words, the call was cut off as if someone had cut it on purpose. So he immediately went to his laboratory room number 371. Elizabeth had some kind of link to that room, so he definitely thought they could be here too. He went into that room, but the whole room looked empty. As soon as he went inside, someone slammed the door behind him. Then a terrifying black shape came inside and immediately grabbed Gary by the neck and said, "I already told you that they are mine. Why are you still thinking about them? You have nothing to do with them, get out of here," she said threateningly. "Why are you killing them?" Garrett asked. Then what did the black shape say? It was a spirit from the Middle Ages who was trapped there. It said that in order for that spirit to return to human form, it would need the help of about 41 spirits. So it decided to kill 41 people. It said that 39 people had already died. The 40th person is your wife and the 41st person is your child. The black shape disappeared from there. Garrett wanted to protect his family at any cost. At least he wanted to protect his child. So what did he do for that? He decided to kill himself. Then the 40th spirit would be his and the 41st spirit would be his wife. He thought the child would survive. But before he could cut his hand with a knife, he got a call from the hotel saying that your wife's child had died. Number 2, the In Dream Hotline. A man used to have some terrible nightmares every day and night. All those dreams revolved around his dead father. His father died, but his body has not recovered even after many years. One day he died in an accident while swimming. His son was also there at that time, but he could not do anything. After seeing that swimming, he decided never to go to that area again and never to swim again. But every day these terrible dreams kept coming and he was scared and did not know what to do. So one day while he was praying so much that he would not have these dreams, he received an email. In that email there was a business card with details. What the card said was that we have started a new company service. Our job is to, he said that he would help all those who are suffering from nightmares. At first, this man did not believe them, but then he called them saying, "If you believe, then what is there but faith?" Then they told him that when you are in your dream, this time a red rotary phone will appear, lift it, then it will automatically put a full stop to all your dreams. He did not believe this. Why did it happen again? He thought, it would be better if you do it. At first he thought that this was a prank by his friend, but then he decided to continue it because he had no other option. However, that night he had the same nightmare as before, but that day the dream he had was a little different. His father always disappeared underwater, but this time it was not like that. The dream continued as if his father was turning into a terrible creature. His neck, his tentacles, his lower part, his teeth, all of these things were changing drastically. He was very scared after seeing all this, and suddenly he felt as he appeared in a childhood home, and not only that, his father creature also came into that house chasing him. But the surprising thing was that a red rotary phone was seen in that house. That phone was the phone his parents used when they were kids. After seeing that phone, he immediately picked it up and heard the voice of a creature from inside. What the voice said was that that creature should never come to your world again, that is, it will have to be sent to another world. So what do you do then? In your dream, imagine that you have gone into an icy atmosphere. He immediately imagined that he had gone to Antarctica. Then that creature froze because of that ice. After that, he immediately woke up. But he was very relieved. He thought that he would not have dreams anymore. So he said that and went downstairs with great relief. But the surprising thing was that his father, alias creature, saw an object coming from another room. She said, "I'm waiting for you, come on," and then she bit him. Of course, he won't have any more nightmares because he's not really alive. So, in number 3, Heaven's Dark Secret, we learn about this creepypasta, the dark waiting for people. The story begins with an accident where a car hits another car. At that time, a person suffered very serious injuries. Due to this, he was experiencing a lot of pain. He had never faced such pain before. To end that pain, he wanted to kill himself, but he couldn't. The hospital staff tried to revive him, but they couldn't either. His injuries were so severe that he died. But the story didn't end there. Suddenly, a huge old man appeared before his eyes. He said, "I can see a red door behind me. If you go through that red door, you will go straight to heaven, but to go through that red door means you have to make a sacrifice. That sacrifice is your skin. If you take that skin off your body, then you can go straight to heaven." And the man also gave him a number. He said that this is your token number. Then he went to that door and said that he should be alone. Nothing was visible before his eyes. Suddenly he was pushed into that door and traveled very fast through that door. Suddenly he went into a big fire. Then he understood something. Someone told him that his skin was being completely torn from inside the fire. He felt even worse pain. Finally he floated in the air somewhere. Although he had no skin on his body, the whole area where he was white. He thought that it was heaven in front of him, but instead of angels, there were people without skin, that is, the souls of people without skin. One of them went to a soul, and "What are you all doing here? Why haven't you all gone to heaven? What happened to your skin? Why are they all taking our skin?" he asked. Then what did the soul say? "They wear our skin. Actually, there are some souls there. All those souls really need skin. They want to go to Earth and create havoc on Earth. That's why they are taking our skin." He said that at that time, suddenly, a big electric shock hit him, that is, a current shock was given to his heart. So his heart started beating again. He went to the hospital again, that is, he was alive again. So he thought that the whole story had a happy ending. But while he was leaving the hospital with bandages the night before, he had a terrible nightmare again. In that dream, an old man appeared who had appeared at the red door before. He came again and said, "I told you before, I will send you to heaven. Give me your skin. Why are you going back to Earth? Give me your skin." He started shouting loudly and said, "Give me a number. When that number comes up, even if you don't want to, our people will come to you, take your skin and kill you." Number 4. Sitting in room. A man is actually very desperate for a job. His job is that he has to work for only 7 days. The boss has said that he will give him about $50,000 for those 7 days. And he has to work in a room. That room is in a big building. It is an office room. There are many desks and many computers in it. But his new boss's name is All. He said, "You have to be continuous from 8 in the evening to 6 in the morning for 7 days. You don't have to do any work. Just stay here until dawn without leaving the office. Otherwise there will be a problem here. We will give you some instructions. You have to follow those instructions." He said that there should be no mistakes. Many of the instructions were very strange and made no sense. But he also said another thing. No employee who came here stayed for more than 3 days. He said that he did not come on the 4th day. And remember one thing. Here you have to remember some of the main instructions. If there is any emergency, you can call me, but you should never call me after 10:05. I will give you the money only if you come for a week. Otherwise I will not give it. After that, he thought everything was okay and the boy started working. The first day passed normally, but on the second day strange things started happening. Despite his instructions, he did not move from there at all. He did not leave at all. But that day a girl also entered the office. Her skin was falling off her body. The nerves inside were visible. Even though he remained brave, no one came on the third day after that. But the boy came on the third day because money is very important, so he entered the room that day with curiosity to see what would happen on the third day. Suddenly he heard a small knock on the door. When he looked at the door, he saw that it was none other than his boss, Ale. What he said was that even if you come at night, you should not let me in, but this boy forgot that, and after seeing the owner he said, "Sir, I don't know the password. If you know the password I can't open the door. Open it yourself." Then Ale said from outside, "Yes, I didn't tell you the password. So how will you open it?" "I will open it myself." So he opened the password and entered the door. But then for some reason the person turned the instruction sheet back. After turning it back he saw some details on it. If you read them completely, it contained the password for that door. And why did Ale say that? He said that he didn't give you the password at all. He got very suspicious. After that, Al started sitting in front of the computers and acting strangely. Not only that, he also started turning into a very ugly creature. So immediately the person got very scared and didn't know what to do. He immediately decided to call his boss. He called the boss and said, "Sir, there is a problem here, please come and save me urgently." But immediately, Al reached the area and killed the creature with the axes he had and then started coming towards the boy. The boy kept saying, "Thank you, sir," but Al's cruelty was still visible. Then he remembered one thing. What did Al tell him? He told him to call only before 105. But by the time he called Al, the time had come and it was 106. That means he called his boss, not his boss. He did not understand who it was. The employee immediately ran out of the building and left without thinking for a moment and didn't look back. He didn't come back on the fourth day. Number 5, the rental. Jack is writing a novel, but he wants to spend a week in a quiet house to finish the novel. So he rents a large, secluded house on a lonely island for a week. It's called Cape Cod. The owner's name is guaranteed. He actually gives some instructions. Although all of those instructions seem strange, some of them seem very mysterious. What he says is that the lights in the house should not be turned on after 11:25 at night. He also says that everything should be turned off by 11:25. And not only that, there are 3 other important instructions. Only 2 people are allowed in this house. What are the names of those 2 people? Haunted Puston and Jessica Covenwood. And another thing is that whenever someone comes to the house, they should only be brought in by asking their last names. Rule number 3 is that you should never step out of the house after midnight and between sunrise and sunset. Rule number 4 is that if there is a problem, you can call Jessica, but she said that the emergency number only works once and it won't work the second time. Okay, so the next day Jack went to the house. The house seemed very wonderful to him. He had a wonderful time without knowing the time. Unfortunately, he broke a rule on the first day because the night sky was looking beautiful. So he walked out after midnight. So he broke a rule. But when he came back inside the house, he didn't see his bedroom. Instead, he saw a large hallway. In one of them, there were many rooms next to it. They had never been there before. Some rooms had numbers on them, some didn't have numbers on them, and there seemed to be some hidden places in them. But Jack did not know what to do and kept walking down the corridor. Finally, he came to a room. 371. When he saw what was in that room, there was no light in it, but a black figure was walking towards him. After seeing this, he closed his eyes. He opened his eyes again in the early morning, but then he was back on his bed. So he told him that this was all a dream and went downstairs. Then he started writing about his story. At that time a man came. He said his name was Hank. Okay, Hank. There are details in the instructions, right? He let him in. But he asked what his last name was. After telling his last name, Jack got very scared because his last name did not match the last name written in the details. It meant that he was someone else. So he told him to go outside. But instead of leaving, he started coming back to kill Jack. So he immediately called Jessica. What Jessica immediately told him was that there was a circuit breaker. If you turn it off, the creature said that it would leave the house, so he turned it off with great difficulty for 10 seconds, after which the creature left, but Jack didn't sweat as usual, but slowly returned to his normal position. However, he decided to follow the instructions anyway. But on the last day he made a small mistake. While writing the story, he forgot to turn off the lights by 11:25. He tried very hard to turn off the lights, but the time was 11:26. When the last light was turned off, it was already too late. Black smoke started coming from under the door of his bedroom, and it started filling the entire room. The entire room was filled with that black smoke, making it difficult for him to breathe. Jack decided to jump out of the window, and he did, but after jumping he fell to the ground due to the impact. He could not bear the pain due to the blow, but suddenly what happened was that all the waves in the sea started coming towards the house very fast. He had no other option but to go inside the house. So he immediately called Jessica again, and she immediately came to him and said that she would solve the problem. She came to Jack and took him upstairs and showed him a narrow hallway that was the same as he had seen before. "Only if you stay in this will you be safe. Come inside." After going inside, it seemed to him that all the spirits that came there had also disappeared, but Jessica started behaving strangely. Jessica suddenly started turning into a creature. Her intestines started coming out of her eyes and mouth. Then he understood that Jessica only comes once and it will not come again. Carrot, her owner, also told him that the call would not work the second time, but he forgot to call Jessica, which means it's not Jessica, it's a creature. After realizing that, he immediately jumped out of the window again and ran away from that house. He waited far away from the house until his owner came the next day and told him to give him the keys to the house. But the problem was that the owner didn't come back. He stayed on that island. After that, the sea suddenly reached a height of 15 feet. You can understand what happened next. Boom. So, okay guys, have you seen these 5 scary creepypastas? Which one of these did you find the scariest? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.